It's the Roll Jays podcast. We're going to catch up with Hudson Greer, talk about his freshman year coming up at Creighton. It's brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. We're talking to Creighton's prize recruit on the other side.
Heads up, it's the Roll Jays podcast, the voice of the Creighton basketball fan. With your hosts, Jimmy Allen, Alex Drake, and Casey Matthews. Join the crew and meet CU players, coaches, and a whole lot more. Now, the Roll Jays podcast. Here's Jimmy Allen.
Welcome into the Roll Jays podcast, powered by Big East Energy. Jimmy Allen and Hudson Greer here with you. Hudson, thanks for doing this podcast with us. We're really excited to get you not only in Omaha, but to get you on the show today and talk about why you chose Creighton.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Obviously, you've got some time in Omaha. You were here just a couple of months ago during the season. You were playing up to the crowd. What was it like to be sitting at a Creighton game? Obviously, the Ryan Kalkbrenner has kind of been the identity of this program over the last 4 to 5 years. What made you choose Creighton? Because obviously the star player to play with was walking out the door.
I mean, just coming in and just seeing how Max used guys like me, whether it was Alex O'Connell or hopefully mold myself into a more athletic Baylor Shireman in some ways. Because no offense to Baylor, but I would definitely say I'm a little more athletic than him. But he's
I
definitely
think
a hell
Baylor
of
would
a
probably
player.
agree with you.
I sure hope so. I mean, we can test it out any day he wants to. But other than that,
Sure.
I mean, just the way they use their players, man, just coming off screen, shooting the ball. I mean, I feel like that was one of the things that stood out to me, just being a three-point shooter. You want to go somewhere that they're going to shoot threes and not be afraid to take them, So just
Yeah,
playing
and then
that up and down pace, yeah.
Yeah, and we were just talking about this on our last interview. We were talking about what this team still needed. One of our co-hosts was like, "Well, we need an outside shooter." And I said, "Yeah, they kind of got one. They don't really need one through the transfer portal because we've got one coming in." When we talk about the hashtag Let It Fly mantra, when you hear that as a recruit and you play the style that you do, what does that mean to you to be in a system that when you walk in the door, what you do is going to fit stylistically out the gate?
Well, I mean, first of all, the "Let It Fly" slogan. I mean, I feel like as soon as I walked in the building, that was a first time ever seeing that, and just seeing that. I mean, I have a hat that I have around my house, and then I carry it around me when I travel, and just feel like that's kind of my mantra most of the time because I feel like that's a lot of what I've known. Of course, I can do other things, but I feel like that's a lot of what people know me for, you know.
You're a Florida native, obviously not necessarily close to Omaha. What did the proximity or lack thereof of where Creighton is play into a factor at all throughout your recruitment?
I mean, going into my recruitment, so I'm actually from Austin, Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, just going on it's the only official I took, and I just felt like when I got there, it just felt like home, man. I feel like going into the recruiting process, I didn't really know what I wanted, but I feel like Mac was one of the first calls I got on that. I forget what the date is, but the date that they can reach out to you. Just talking to him and over time, just building that relationship with him, man, and heading up to campus and then seeing how guys like Baylor and Kalkbrenner and Trey Alexander was there, just seeing how they go through all the things they do there. I mean, it was definitely a eye-opening experience.
very rarely do we see guys come in as the only player in their class. You're going to be the only high school recruit. Obviously, a couple of transfer portal guys that were added over the last couple of weeks. What has it been like to be the standalone player in Creighton's recruiting class in this cycle?
Well, I mean, I feel like the game's changed, of course, with the transfer portal, and not a lot of guys bring in freshmen and stuff like that. But I feel like with me at least, like I can go out there and compete with those kind of guys. I'm not afraid to back down. I'm not afraid to do all those
Sure.
things. And I feel like for me being the incoming freshman, I feel like that's only anything. All it says about me is my age. I don't feel like it says anything about the lack of experience I have.
Yeah, but there's two guys that were on this team a year ago that were freshmen and came in and made an impact in Ty Davis and Jackson McAndrew. And we got the chance to catch up with Owen Freeman, the center that's transferring in to replace Ryan Kalkbrenner that was at Iowa a year ago. And he referenced those two guys, even though they're a little bit younger. And Owen was just a sophomore this year, but he referenced their personalities and how much he gelled with those guys. How much did you get to know Ty Davis and Jackson McAndrew on your visit?
Well, I mean, Going on my visit, I mean, coming back again, because they obviously, when I went on my official, they were seniors in high school, but coming back around
Sure.
when I took two unofficials, technically, I guess you could say, but honestly, I
Go on a
probably
game or
talked to,
two.
yeah, I mean, I mean, just talking to those guys, I mean, we probably text each other every other day. I mean, it's a great experience with those great group of guys, and really just, I mean, starting to be friends, man. It's just an awesome experience off the court, and I can't wait to get down there and just gel with them more.
Obviously, the news that came out this week is that Coach Mack has named his successor. Alan Huss is going to be the head coach eventually at Creighton. What does it mean to you to know that no matter what happens in your 4 years at Creighton, that you know that the head coach is going to be there and be a part, whether it be Alan Huss or whether it be Greg McDermott, that the head coach that you're always going to have is on campus right now?
I mean, it's awesome. It just feels like a great security kind of thing. I mean, I came here to Creighton to play 4 years here. I didn't choose to, hey, I'm going to come here, I'm going to play 1 year and transfer out. That wasn't really what I was looking for in my recruiting process. I looked at all the schools and I laid it down. And I was like, where could I see myself for 4 years? And I mean, just having Coach Huss come over, I mean, it's great. I mean, just texting with him and things like that, it's awesome.
Well, and I think a lot of the worry sometimes is the fit, right? Because if you fit into Greg McDermott's system and let it fly was the mantra, and maybe a guy that's going to come in that doesn't understand what that is or wants to change his own style, that probably kind of deters what you love about Creighton's system, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, coming in, I mean, the schools I was recruited by the most, for instance, was Arizona, Alabama, and Creighton. I mean, those are all guys that are going to get up and down the court, let it fly, and just play that kind of style. So, I mean, just knowing that whether, who knows what the time period is of when he wants to make his decision to step down. I know that following this, if I'm still here, that I know what I'll be getting, you know?
How much did you get to see of Omaha as a city in the few times that you've been here? What did you like the most about the Omaha community?
I mean, I just felt like I mean, when I took my visit, and I think they played my official, and they played Central Michigan. There were 16,000 people in the stands, and everyone was
Yep.
gone for winter break, and just no students were there. It was just the basketball players in the city, and they had it rocking in there. And I think Crane ended up winning by like 60 or 50. It was some crazy number like that. No offense to Central Michigan, but
Yeah, Kalkbrenner had 49 that night. They didn't really have much of a choice.
yeah,
What are
it
you
is.
looking forward to the most about college life in itself? Not necessarily just the basketball portion of it, but actually just getting to Omaha and being a college student.
I mean, for me at least, coming from Montverde, there's not a lot of freedom. You're kind of in your dorm all day, which I mean isn't always the most fun, but it definitely teaches you discipline. So I definitely understand
Sure.
how to take care of myself a little bit and adult, as people would. Well, I'll say
Sure.
adult if you want to say that, but I mean just being able to, I mean, hang out with the guys, whether it's at the dorm, whether it's at the practice facility, whether it's going out to get something to eat. I mean, all those things I can't wait for.
Was that part of the thought process when you moved from Austin and choose to go the prep school route, is to try to prepare yourself better for the college lifestyle?
Oh, for sure. I mean, for me at least, it's school, practice, workout, break, workout, and then after that, it's kind of you kind of are free, honestly. After, I mean, that's basically the whole day, and I feel like it just taught me all that discipline, especially
Sure.
even though Coach Boyle ended up leaving. I definitely feel like I got tidbits from him for sure.
We're catching up with Hudson Greer, the lone member of Creighton's recruiting class of the 2025 cycle here on the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. I want to talk about your game. For anybody that doesn't know Hudson Greer, hasn't had a chance to see your highlight film, can you kind of explain to the fans in Omaha and of Creighton here who Hudson Greer, the basketball player, is?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of one of those players that isn't afraid to let it fly, whatever the moment is, whether it's a packed gym, no one's in the gym. I'm just always going to be me, you know? And I feel like a little bit of people that underrate me a lot is that I'm a pretty athletic dude. I feel like anytime I'm on the court that I can compete with anyone in that sense, whether it's jumping or anything like that, just being an athlete out there. So I just feel like I'm honestly one of the more complete players out there.
You listed at 6'6", 190. Obviously, that's pretty prototypical for what a Creighton player looks like. We've seen the staff kind of add a little bit of length through the transfer portal too, whether it be Josh Dix or Nick Graves or an Austin Swartz. Have you had a chance to talk to those guys at all? And if so, what do those conversations sound like?
Oh, we haven't got to talk a lot. I mean, I think we were on a Zoom call a week back, but other than that, nothing much. I talked to Owen a tiny bit, nothing a lot, but other than that, just following each other back on Instagram and starting to create that relationship once I get on campus, probably because I know they're probably busy.
What would you like your role to be in your freshman year? Are you expecting to play quite a bit?
I mean, I feel like that was one of the reasons why I kind of came here was to
Mm,
create a name for myself and play a decent amount. I'm not necessarily saying, "Hey, I'm going to start." That's not I'm not going to be that guy. My goal is to
sure.
come in there, play a decent amount, do what's best for the team and do what I do. Love to shoot that ball and be one of the best shooters out there in the country.
We've seen some guys, whether it be Stephen Ashworth or Ryan Nemhard, come into this program and struggle. Obviously, you're not going to play point guard, but we've seen some guys struggle with the system and the pace and the pacing of the floor. Do you feel like, I mean, you talked about running the court. Do you feel like that's something that you may struggle with at first, kind of catching up to the college system, or do you feel like you can learn it and pick it up quicker than maybe some guys that have even played college level basketball have?
I feel like I'll do a decently good job with that, especially I mean coming from Boyle's system. I mean, I feel like this year he had us running up and down a little bit, and I mean his conditioning was no joke. I feel like a lot of people can agree with that. But in
Sure.
terms of the pace of the game, I feel like that's one of those things I strive for, man. I mean, I feel like there's going to be little bumps here in the road of learning plays, being a freshman, being that kind of guy. But in terms of the pace of the game, I feel like I'm all but ready for it.
We all know you can shoot the lights out of the gym. How do you plan on making strides on the other end of the ball and playing defense as a freshman?
I mean, just getting with the strength and conditioning coach, building that relationship early. I mean, right now, of course, me and him text a little bit. He gives me things I need to do at my school, and just feel like once I get down there and add a couple LBs, drink a couple protein shakes, I'll be good to go. You know?
Sure. Jeremy Anderson's going to have plenty of those for you. He's a great guy. You're going to love that relationship
Yes, sir.
as well. Hudson, we appreciate you taking time with us and being with us here on the Roll Jays podcast. We'd love to talk to you once you get on campus and get things rolling, and obviously see you in the blue and the white.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Hudson Greer, Creighton's 2025 lone commit through the high school ranks. You can see him here in the Chai as early as this winter. This has been the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors, and powered by Big East Energy.